Welcome to Gents Grove, gentlemen. The wolf doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Sigma males are a rare breed, independent, self-assured, and driven by their own rules. You don't need a crowd to validate your worth or a hierarchy to define your role. You've carved your path, one step at a time, in a world that thrives on conformity. But let's face it, walking this untamed road makes you a target. Why? Because your mere existence challenges the norms most people cling to. People target Sigma males not because of their flaws, but because of their strengths, their quiet confidence, their ability to resist manipulation, and their refusal to bow to society's pressures. This video isn't about sugarcoating the truth. It's about understanding the real reasons behind the constant pushback and using that knowledge to armor yourself. You're not alone in this. These challenges are proof that you're doing something right. So stick around and discover why your presence stirs the pot and how to keep thriving despite the chaos. Hit play, and let's dive deep into the harsh truths and hard-earned wisdom of being a Sigma male. Let's get started, gents. Number 1, they're proof that freedom isn't just a dream. Freedom isn't just about breaking chains or living without restrictions. It's about living on your own terms, unshackled by the invisible expectations that control most people. Sigma males embody this idea in a way that feels almost defiant. They don't ask for permission to live the way they want. They simply do it. While others get caught up in chasing approval, climbing ladders, or following trends, the Sigma male carves a path that suits him and no one else. His freedom isn't loud or boastful. It's in the quiet confidence of knowing he owes nothing to anyone but himself. But here's the harsh truth. Freedom comes at a cost, and not everyone will applaud you for it. When people see a Sigma male thriving outside the conventional mold, it shakes their worldview. It forces them to confront the question, if he can live freely, why can't I? That realization breeds resentment because it exposes the chains they've willingly accepted. Whether it's a job they hate, a life they didn't choose, or an identity crafted to fit societal expectations. Instead of questioning their own choices, some will try to tear down the Sigma male. They'll dismiss his lifestyle as luck, arrogance, or rebellion. They'll attempt to diminish what they don't understand because it's easier than admitting they're trapped. But none of that matters to the Sigma male. He's not here to convert or convince anyone. His life is proof that freedom isn't a fantasy. It's a reality you fight for by rejecting the rules designed to keep you in line. The Sigma's independence is a threat, not because he forces others to change, but because he silently dares them to dream bigger. And that's why they target him. Because deep down they wish they had his courage. Number 2, they're hard to read, making them an easy scapegoat. People are naturally wary of what they can't decipher, and Sigma males thrive on being unreadable. They move through life with a calm and calculated demeanor, never feeling the need to explain themselves or put their intentions on display. To those who value predictability and openness, this behavior feels like a threat. They can't categorize or fully understand a Sigma male, and that ambiguity creates discomfort. People like things to fit neatly into boxes, but Sigma males refuse to be boxed in. This mystery often turns into a double-edged sword. While their enigmatic nature adds to their allure, it also makes them easy scapegoats when things go wrong. In group dynamics or social circles, people tend to project their frustrations onto the person they understand the least. The Sigma male, who operates on his own wavelength and rarely indulges in gossip or groupthink, becomes the perfect target. His silence can be twisted into suspicion. His independence can be framed as arrogance or detachment. When others feel exposed or vulnerable, it's easier to blame the person who doesn't fit the mold, rather than reflect on their own failures. The Sigma male's refusal to defend himself only fuels this dynamic. He doesn't waste time arguing or trying to change people's perceptions, and that silence can be misinterpreted as guilt or indifference. But this isn't a weakness. It's a choice. Sigma males know that most accusations stem from insecurity, envy, or misunderstanding. They don't need to justify themselves to anyone because they value their integrity over public opinion. While being misunderstood can be isolating, the Sigma male's self-reliance ensures he doesn't depend on others' approval. The truth always reveals itself in time, and by then, the Sigma male has already moved forward, unbothered and unstoppable. Gentlemen, thank you for being part of Gents Grove community. You are valued. At number 3, they don't feed the ego of narcissists. Narcissists thrive on validation. They rely on others to feed their carefully constructed image of superiority, constantly fishing for compliments, attention, and admiration to keep their egos afloat. Most people fall into the trap of playing along, either out of politeness, fear, or a need to keep the peace. But Sigma males, they don't take the bait. They see through the facade and refuse to engage in the narcissist's endless game of self-worship. To a narcissist, this rejection is more than an insult. It's a threat. They've built their identity on the fragile foundation of others' approval, and when a Sigma male refuses to play along, it shakes that foundation to its core. Unlike others, the Sigma male doesn't flatter, doesn't fawn, and doesn't react to their manipulations. He's immune to the emotional hooks narcissists use to pull people into their orbit. This silence can be infuriating. Narcissists thrive on control, and the Sigma's indifference is like a mirror showing them their inability to dominate someone so self-assured. It's not just that the Sigma ignores them, it's the way he does it, calmly, confidently, without a trace of anger or resentment. This composure is kryptonite to the narcissist's ego because it exposes just how little power they truly hold. In their frustration, narcissists might lash out, trying to provoke a reaction or discredit the Sigma male. But that only highlights their desperation. The Sigma doesn't need to prove anything or win petty battles. His quiet refusal to validate the narcissist's delusions is victory enough. And while the narcissist spirals, the Sigma male remains steady, unbothered, and firmly rooted in his own sense of self. In a world desperate for attention, his refusal to give it is the ultimate power move. Number 4. They attract attention without seeking it. Sigma males have an unshakable presence that naturally draws attention, even when they aren't seeking it. They don't chase the spotlight or clamor for validation, yet their quiet confidence and authentic demeanor make them impossible to ignore. It's not about showmanship or loud gestures. It's the way they carry themselves with an effortless composure that demands respect. People notice when someone walks into a room completely at ease with themselves, and for Sigma males, this happens without a second thought. This organic influence is both a gift and a curse. While many admire their ability to command attention without trying, others see it as a threat. Those who desperately crave recognition but can't seem to earn it naturally often feel a sting of jealousy. Watching someone effortlessly achieve what they've been striving for can be a bitter pill to swallow. It's not just the attention that bothers them, it's the authenticity behind it. The Sigma male's appeal isn't forced or manufactured. It's a byproduct of being true to himself. This dynamic stirs resentment in people who rely on external validation for their sense of worth. They may try to undermine the Sigma male, belittle his influence, or cast doubt on his intentions. But these attempts only expose their insecurities. The Sigma male doesn't need recognition to define his value, and that indifference makes him even more magnetic. What truly sets Sigma males apart is their refusal to let attention change them. Whether admired or envied, they remain the same, grounded, focused, and unbothered by the noise around them. Their ability to draw people in without seeking approval is a quiet rebellion against a world obsessed with being noticed. And it's a power few can replicate. Number 5. They make opportunists feel exposed. Opportunists are always on the hunt for an easy target, someone they can exploit without resistance. But Sigma males are anything but easy. Their sharp awareness and natural ability to read people make them exceptionally difficult to deceive. They don't just listen to what someone says, they pay attention to what isn't said, the subtle cues that reveal ulterior motives. This heightened vigilance feels like a glaring spotlight to manipulators, exposing the very intentions they work so hard to conceal. For opportunists, encountering a Sigma male is both frustrating and threatening. Their usual tactics, flattery, guilt-tripping, or playing the victim, fall flat. The Sigma doesn't react the way others do. He doesn't get pulled into their web of manipulation, and worse, he sees right through it. This exposure leaves opportunists feeling vulnerable, and for people who thrive on control, that vulnerability breeds hostility. When their schemes fail, opportunists often shift to damage control. Instead of retreating gracefully, they try to discredit the Sigma male, painting him as cold, uncooperative, or even arrogant. It's an attempt to redirect attention away from their own intentions and onto the Sigma's refusal to play along. But this tactic rarely works, as the Sigma's reputation is built on authenticity, not appeasement. What really infuriates opportunists is the Sigma's refusal to engage in their drama. He doesn't waste time confronting them or proving his point. He simply disengages, leaving them to deal with their own exposure. This silent dismissal is more damaging than any argument could be. The Sigma male's presence alone serves as a reminder that not everyone can be manipulated, and that truth makes opportunists uncomfortable in ways they can't quite articulate. It's not just a rejection, it's a reflection of their own inability to truly control those who see through them. Number 6. Their unpredictability breeds anxiety. Creative problem-solving predictability gives most people a sense of control. They rely on routines, patterns, and familiar behaviors to feel grounded and secure. But Sigma males shatter this comfort. They refuse to follow the beaten path or conform to societal expectations, and their unpredictability throws people off balance. You can't put a Sigma male in a box or predict his next move, and for those who thrive on structure, this is deeply unsettling. Sigma males live by their own rules, guided by self-awareness and an inner compass that doesn't rely on external validation. This independence disrupts the status quo, making others question their own choices and the systems they've invested so much energy in maintaining. It's not that Sigma males are intentionally rebellious, it's that their authenticity and refusal to conform expose the rigidity and insecurities in others. This anxiety manifests in subtle and not so subtle ways. Some people feeling threatened may try to pull the Sigma male back into a more acceptable mold, whether through criticism, gossip, or outright hostility. They'll frame the Sigma's independence as arrogance, or dismiss it as irresponsibility, not because it's true, but because it makes them feel more comfortable. Others might simply envy the freedom the Sigma male embodies, and attempt to undermine him to restore a sense of balance in their own lives. The truth is, a Sigma male's unpredictability isn't about chaos. It's about being true to himself. He's not bound by others' expectations, and that kind of liberation is rare and unnerving to those who lack it. Instead of following the script society writes for him, he writes his own, leaving people unsure of how to deal with someone they can't define or control. And that uncertainty, it's both their greatest discomfort and the Sigma's quiet power. Number 7. They can take on any mask but refuse to wear one. Sigma males possess an uncanny ability to adapt to almost any environment or situation. They understand the expectations society has for different roles, whether it's the team player, the authority figure, or the charismatic individual, and they can step into any of those roles seamlessly. But here's the difference. They don't need to. Unlike most people, who put on a mask to fit in or gain approval, the Sigma male chooses to remain authentic, never masking his true self for the sake of comfort or acceptance. This refusal to wear a mask is what makes him such a powerful presence. It's not that he lacks the ability to play the game. Rather, he chooses not to. He doesn't feel the need to conform to the roles others expect him to play, nor does he feel the need to put on a false persona to please anyone. This unapologetic authenticity makes others uncomfortable, especially those who wear masks themselves. People who are constantly pretending to be something they're not often view the Sigma male's refusal to do the same as a threat. It forces them to confront their own inauthenticity, and that's an uncomfortable realization. They can't comprehend how someone could move through life without hiding behind a facade, and this makes them uneasy. The Sigma male, however, is unbothered by their discomfort. He isn't afraid to walk into any room and be exactly who he is, regardless of how others expect him to behave. He doesn't need to wear a mask because he's not looking for validation. He's already secure in his own identity. This ability to morph effortlessly without losing himself is what makes the Sigma male an enigma, one that others both admire and fear. Number 8. They don't care about being liked. Sigma males stand out because they don't care about being liked. In a world obsessed with fitting in, where social approval is currency, the Sigma's indifference to external validation is both empowering and unsettling to those around him. Most people crave acceptance, looking for reassurance from others to confirm their worth. But the Sigma male is different. He doesn't need approval, and he certainly doesn't base his self-worth on how others perceive him. This is a direct challenge to the social fabric that others rely on. People who target Sigma males often feel threatened by this indifference. The Sigma doesn't play the games of seeking approval, following trends, or conforming to social norms. This rejection of the need to be liked sends a clear message. He doesn't need anyone's validation to feel complete. And for those who thrive on external validation, this can feel like an attack on their way of life. In social circles, those who depend on being liked are often the ones who seek to manipulate or control others to maintain their position. They are constantly measuring their worth against the approval of others, always worried about fitting in and avoiding rejection. The Sigma male doesn't operate in this space. His refusal to conform to these expectations and his lack of concern for being liked make him an anomaly, something that disrupts the carefully curated dynamics others have built. This threat isn't overt, but it's felt deeply. The Sigma male's indifference to acceptance forces others to confront their own dependency on approval. It exposes their vulnerabilities, leaving them to question why they need others' validation in the first place. And for those who seek to control social dynamics, the Sigma male's indifference becomes a silent but powerful rebellion. Number 9. People hate what they can't control. Control is a currency many people rely on to feel secure. Whether it's through influence, persuasion, or outright manipulation, they thrive on bending others to their will. But Sigma males are an anomaly in this system. They are fiercely independent, unshakable in their convictions, and utterly immune to the games that manipulators play. This inability to control them doesn't just frustrate, it infuriates. For those accustomed to pulling strings, encountering a Sigma male feels like hitting an immovable wall. The usual tactics, emotional blackmail, guilt trips, or even subtle coercion, simply don't work. Sigma males operate on their own terms, and their decisions are rooted in logic and self-awareness, not in a desire to appease others. This steadfastness creates a power vacuum in interactions, leaving control seekers feeling exposed and powerless. Rather than backing down, many try to push harder, testing the Sigma male's limits to see if they can provoke a reaction or crack his resilience. But this only backfires. The Sigma male doesn't engage in power struggles because he doesn't need to prove anything. His patience isn't a sign of weakness. It's a display of control over his own emotions, something manipulators can't stand. The truth is, people hate what they can't control because it forces them to confront their own lack of power. The Sigma male's resistance isn't just a challenge, it's a mirror, reflecting the futility of their efforts. This realization can lead to hostility, resentment, or even outright sabotage as they attempt to undermine what they can't dominate. But the Sigma remains unfazed. His ability to stay grounded, regardless of external pressures, is his greatest strength, and the ultimate frustration for those who crave control. The last, but not the least, number 10. They demand to be seen for who they are, not what others want them to be. Sigma males don't fit neatly into the boxes society tries to place them in. They refuse to conform to the roles others try to impose based on social norms or expectations. Unlike those who crave validation through meeting others' standards, Sigma males demand to be seen for who they truly are, unapologetically and without compromise. They don't act a certain way to make others feel comfortable or to fit into a mold they've outgrown. They simply exist as themselves, which often shakes people to their core. Those who target Sigma males are often confronted with a reality they're not prepared for. Many people, whether consciously or subconsciously, try to force others into predefined roles, be it the charismatic leader, the obedient follower, or the one who conforms to societal standards of success. But Sigma males don't play those games. They won't let themselves be defined by what others want them to be. This forces the people around them to either accept them as they are or feel uncomfortable with their own need for control. This can be threatening to individuals who thrive on fitting others into their limited view of the world. When a Sigma male refuses to fit into the narrative others have written for him, it creates friction. Some will even go as far as to undermine or criticize him, hoping to force him to conform to their expectations. But this rarely works. The Sigma male isn't interested in being anything other than who he truly is, and this authenticity exposes the artificiality in the expectations others place on him. By demanding to be seen for who he truly is, the Sigma male challenges the comfort of those who would rather manipulate or control. It forces people to either evolve their perception or face the discomfort of their own limitations. In a world obsessed with labels and roles, Sigma males stand firm in their refusal to wear a mask. And this makes them a powerful force, feared by those who want everyone to fit into their narrow view of the world. In conclusion, in the end, the reasons why people target Sigma males come down to one simple truth. They are a reminder of everything others fear about themselves. The Sigma doesn't bend, doesn't conform, and doesn't play the games most people are obsessed with. His independence, authenticity, and unwillingness to seek validation make him a threat to those who rely on societal approval to define their worth. He lives life on his own terms, and that discomforts those who are too caught up in their need for control or belonging. But here's the thing. If you identify with the Sigma male mindset, you're on the right path. Don't let the judgment or criticism of others derail you. You're not meant to fit into the molds others have set for you. Your power lies in your ability to stand firm in your individuality, to navigate life as your true self without fear of rejection or failure. Keep walking your own path, knowing that those who try to tear you down only do so because they can't understand your strength. Remember, being a Sigma male isn't about avoiding connection or shunning others. It's about choosing authenticity over acceptance. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to let anyone make you feel less than. You're not a threat. You're simply a mirror that forces others to face their own insecurities. Keep embracing your independence, your quiet power, and your ability to live life on your terms. Those who truly matter will respect you for it, and the rest will fade into the background. See you in our next video, gents. God bless you.